Lions TV, this is your Sunday weekly roundup show. New season, new sponsors, new players, new kit, and to kick it all off, a 4-0 win in sunny Essex. And that's exactly where we're going to start with yesterday's victory over Concord Rangers. So just quickly before we get onto the game, I'm going to have a brief comment on this year's kit. The kit's lovely for the kids to get. I don't really care what the kit is. I don't care if the player's playing fancy dress as long as we get results and we stay in this division. But I've got to say it, I've slept on it, I've thought about it, I don't want to be negative. But in my opinion, it's absolutely shit. I don't like it at all. For some reason, it reminds me of Tony the Tiger. I'm not sure why, but it does. There you go, so I've told you. But anyway, listen, as I've said, it doesn't really matter what you wear, as long as you stay in this division. Husky are the new sponsors. A lot of people worried about that it was going to be Husky in red instead of Husky in white. As I've said, it's all academic. It does not matter as long as we perform in it and stay in this division. So yesterday's team, the starting lineup was Frank Fielding in goal, Danny McNamara right back, Jake Cooper and Alex Pearce centre halves with Tiencia at left back. It was Jeb Wallace right midfield, Scalak on the left with Sean Williams and Billy Mitchell centre midfield. And up front, we're hoping they're going to be the new deadly duo. It was Matt Smith and the long-awaited return after injury of Tom Bradshaw. Just going to tell you straight off the bat, and I wasn't there yesterday, it's probably the only Mill game I miss all season, and I give it a big one throughout the summer saying I'm not going to miss one Mill game. We've played one and I've missed it. Now the reason I missed the game was I stupidly gave my children the choice of do you want to go Millwall or would you like to go swimming. They chose swimming, and as a result they will get one less Christmas present each this year. So obviously I can't comment on the match too much because I was not there. I can only go on reports I've heard and what other people have told me. Matt Smith hit the bar in the first minute with his first touch with a header. Cross from Bradshaw, apparently he should have scored. Good reports from the youngsters yesterday. Billy Mitchell as always, centre midfield, and the left back Tiencia. He came through the same age group as Billy Mitchell, that sort of core that come through recently and all got offered professional contracts, and he looked very good apparently at left back. We took the lead through Sean Williams, the Wand, still going strong against all the critics. He opened our account for the season, and we went in 1-0 up at half time. Now we come out the second half and we end up rolling and we get 3 more goals, and that was to be expected. You know, teams like Concord not going to have the levels of fitness that our players will. So we go on to score 3 more in the second half through Ben Thompson, Duncan and Fred Onyedinma. I put a tweet out after the game based around Fred and the manager, and it wasn't a dig at either of them really. It was just a little bit tongue-in-cheek about the comedy that it has really become with Fred, in my opinion. I don't want to dwell on old news and I don't want to keep covering old ground. But listen, I'll just for the record will state again, I like Fred. I think he's young, I think he's got potential, and I think he needs the opportunity. I like Harris, what Harris has done, what the gaffer does. I love that. He's kept us in the division. He's given us some great times as Millwall fans, and especially for me since we started doing this channel. So it's all good in my opinion. The Fred thing just baffles me. You know, after we come back from Wickham on loan, we know what the gaffer said. You know, he looks unplayable in training. Then there was a breakdown in relationship or communication, and the gaffer come out and said Fred will never play for the club again. He wasn't given a squad number at the start of this season. The 10 was given to Matt Smith. Confirming that he would definitely be leaving the club, or so we thought. Now, Fred yesterday got minutes and he scored and he wore the 17. So again, for me, the gaffer said something he didn't need to say. But let's go through other players that were not there yesterday. George Alexander, I don't know where he was and he wasn't involved. Aidan O'Brien obviously had a hip injury. Shane Ferguson had extended international leave after being away with Northern Ireland, and I believe Fergie tied the knot, so well done to the Fergusons. And as confirmed earlier in the week by the club, James Brown injured his knee and will be out until at least the start of the season, which is a shame for him because after years of knocking around the 23s and being out on loan to teams like Carlisle in Scotland, it finally looks like he's going to get his chance, but he's been injured. So also, the one player that I noticed wasn't there yesterday was James Meredith. I don't know where he's gone. Murray Wallace now has the number 3 squad number, which was obviously James Meredith's number for the last 2 seasons. And I haven't seen him knocking about any, photos that the club keeps sticking up from pre-season training at Calmont Road. So James Meredith is on the missing list, and if anyone's seen him, please let me know. Missing Meza, there you go. There's no reward. So there you go, that's a little bit of a random one for you. Meza is on the missing list, but other than that, as expected yesterday, it's good to see the boys back in action. 4-0 win at Concord Rangers, clean sheet, few goals. You can't knock it. So let's move on to players that could potentially be joining the club next week. I mean, it's evident we need more players. We definitely need another goalkeeper. That's without a shadow of a doubt. I think we could still do with another central midfielder, a left midfielder, and another centre forward before the season starts. We all hear rumours. I hear what you hear. I'll get inbox messages. Someone's seen someone walking down Bromley High Street. Someone's seen someone jumping over the fence at Calmont Road. I don't know anything concrete. That's the God's honest truth. I did hear a rumour that Jason Puncham was having a medical last week. and I put a little mysterious tweet out there saying, sort of putting the feelers out. What do people think of Jason Puncheon? And it was quite a mixed bag. It was a decent response. It was one of the best responses I've had on social media since I said Jimmy Abdou wasn't a good player. So yeah, a lot of feeling around Puncheon, a lot of good feeling, a lot of bad feeling. What do we know about Jason Puncheon? We know he's a Crystal Palace player. We know he's 33 years old. We know he was on loan at Millwall once before in the 2010, I think, where he scored 5 goals in 7 games, notably a hat-trick against Crystal Palace, the team he later went on to join. And he was player of Huddersfield last year. He's moved central over the last few seasons. He's obviously predominantly was a winger in his younger days. People again slagging him off straight away, saying fuck him, he said he never wants to play for Millwall again. Other people saying he's got attitude problem and he don't have a chip on his shoulder. In my opinion, at 33 years old, I should hope he may have shook any sort of younger tendencies and any sort of up his own arse aggression and flashiness he may have had. At 33 years of age, I'm hoping he probably would have shook that off by now. I think it could be a decent bit of experience added to the squad. I wouldn't know if he would play loads, if he would join, but another left footer in the side, another winger / midfield player. And I think with Gregory going, Morrison going and Dave Martin going, I think we could do with a little bit more experience in that squad. I don't think it would be a bad move at all, Puncheon. Other players that have been touted about, we heard rumours about. I mean, there was almost a concrete confirmation by, I'm not sure where it was now, it was on Twitter or somewhere. No, I think it was on the Daily Mail Online, to be fair, that Conor Mahoney, the Bournemouth winger who was on loan at Birmingham last season, has been targeted by Mill and a fee had been agreed. That one seems to have gone quiet. On that one, again, I honestly don't know. Maybe Mahoney's weighing up his options from other clubs. Maybe it happens, Mill will go in for a player, or anyone goes in for a player, and it might attract and ignite other clubs' interest in that player. So Mahoney's, again, another one, young winger on loan at Birmingham last year. They liked him, but obviously they have got a transfer embargo, so they can't be buying anyone at the minute. And again, I think Mahoney will be a good addition to the squad. Next up is Kiefer Moore. Now, I like Kiefer Moore. I think it'd be a great signing, and it would cost us around £3 million. And I think that's the going rate you're going to have to pay for a top scorer in League One these days. I think it's the way of the world. Unfortunately, as I've said before, these days of Gregory signing from Halifax, these days of Morrison coming in from Stevenage, that's gone, that's done and dusted. In this day and age, and social media doesn't help because players can put themselves out there a lot more. You see a lot more videos. Social media is everywhere. So if you look now at the standard of even the conference leagues, there's some good players playing them in conference leagues, and you ain't going to get, as I've said, a Gregory or a Morrison. You're going to have to go for a League One top end player and pay a lot of money. That's going to cost us £3 million, Kiefer Moore, without an absolute doubt, and that's if he decides to come to us. Again, apparently we're interested, but now, of course, Bristol City are interested. They're splashing the cash left, right and centre, and they look like they're going to have a right go for promotion. So I'm hearing a rumour, again, another rumour, I don't know if it's true, but I'm hearing that Kiefer Moore has not travelled with Barnsley to their pre-season tour. I think they've gone to France. But we've just signed Matt Smith, so similar sort of players, similar sort of height. Are we looking for a second target man? I would say no. I would say in the gaffer's mind, or in any sort of team's mind, you'd have your one target man, your big man, and then you'd have a few players, centre forwards in and around him to choose from. Which moves me on to today's news. It's come out literally a couple of hours ago while I was in the bath. There's a lovely vision for you. John Daddy Bavardson, I think I've got that right. He is a Reading player. They signed him from Wolves. Wolves got him from somewhere in Iceland back in the day. And the Sun has reported this morning that a fee of £750,000 has been agreed between Mill and Reading for the 27-year-old Icelandic striker. He's been met by the usual comments of oh god, he's shit, oh we're going backwards, and all sorts on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. I think that's just in the Millwall fans' nature for us to moan. He scored 14 goals in 53 games for Reading. They're a side that have been struggling in the Championship for the last couple of years, worse than us last year I thought, and obviously the year before when we had a good season. So my question would be, why does he want to leave them? Someone's saying that they're skint, they need the money, but also someone else is saying that it doesn't feature in the manager's plans. And could we agree terms with him? I think we could. He's on the transfer list there. And, Reading isn't a million miles away from the Den, so he could probably make the transition without upsetting himself too much, where he lives, etc., uprooting his family. So, would he be a good signing? I honestly do not know. Never heard of him until that come out earlier on. But again, these are the sort of players that 27 years old, £750,000. My mind springs straight to Aidan O'Brien. Can we not give Aidan a shot there? I don't think you're going to get any more out of this guy than you are out of Aidan O'Brien. I think Aidan, well, I know Aidan wants to play up front. It's been confirmed he needs to play up front this year. He don't want to be a left midfielder anymore, and rightly so. He needs his chance up front. So Tom Elliott got injured yesterday, by the way, just why that's fresh in my mind. And the strikers for this season, as far as I'm concerned, at the minute, is Aidan O'Brien, Matt Smith and Tom Bradshaw. So we definitely need one more in. But is Budvarsson the answer? I would say no. I would say stick with Aidan, and hopefully if we've got cash to splash, which allegedly we have, let's aim a little bit higher. Let's go after Kiefer Moore and let's have a little bit of a go. So that's it. The players are going to be out of action games-wise now for the next couple of weeks. They go to Portugal, obviously, for their pre-season tour, which is always behind closed doors. Don't bother getting a flight out there. And then the next game they'll play on English soil is away to Gillingham on Sunday, the 21st of July. So I'll be there for that one. Hopefully, I'll see you down there. I'll definitely be there as well, kids or no kids. And hopefully, I'll see you early next week for all these players that we are allegedly gonna sign. But until then, you'll find me on the Isle of Dogs all next week. If you're in about the island, come say hello, because I will be filming the documentary From the Docks to the Den. I've only got 4 weeks to film and complete it. I've given myself a lovely uphill struggle, plenty of work to do, and not a lot of time to do it, but I'm really good at that. So yeah, if you see me out and about in the Isle of Dogs, come say hello. If not, the documentary is out on the 1st of August 2019, 2 days before the football season starts. Hopefully, fingers crossed I can get it done. I need to get some interviews done in between those times, as well as the history part of it. I've got some good people lined up for the documentary. People have not appeared on the channel before, ex-players, fans. I won't say any more, but it's going to be good, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. That's your lot. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this Sunday weekly roundup show. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm absolutely sweating my bollocks off. I don't know if you can see that, but please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.